This is a little video IGN did, like one of those little game breakdown previews, whatever you want to call it. They just call it a brutal, bloody 3v3 tag fighter. But yeah, the new Invincible game, Invincible Versus. See how it goes. See what they got.
Let's just skip to the part where we fight. How's a concussion sound?
Okay.
Some things just feel right.
Okay, so we got Patriotic Mark over here. Hell yeah. We got Old Bitch, and then we got Mid Mark.
First laid eyes on Invincible Versus, my thoughts were something along the lines of, yeah, that makes sense. If you were going to choose a comic book to adopt into a fighting game, you could do a lot worse than Robert Kirkman's magnum opus.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It made complete sense that this would be a fighting game. Just obviously.
Got everything you need for a tag fighter. Bone-crunching hits, a big cast to draw from, a cool art style, plenty of unique superpowers that can easily be converted into special moves, the works. But
it said unique powers that can be converted into special moves. I'm wondering what he means by that. Because what I'm really looking for in something like this and in this game is for it to find a little like niche mechanic that will help this game really stand out. Because my number one worry is that people are only going to get this for the invincible value. Kind of like how you have all the anime games, like the Naruto fighters, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, like all of them ended up being fairly samey. You know what I mean? So that's my only worry, really. Let's see what they get into.
Invincible Versus has a secret weapon too. Its developer, Quarter Up. That name might not be familiar to you yet. They're a new studio, but they're anything but rookies. Your number's up. Several members of the 40-plus person development team
played a core role
in the development of 2013's Killer Instinct, and you can feel that influence.
We're doing
Seeing
good.
Invincible Versus is one thing, but when I sat down to play it and speak with members of the team, I knew I was among fellow sickos, and I mean that in the most complimentary way.
Watch out! Because they got the brutality. Hands-on.
One of the problems with previewing a fighting game is that you never have enough time with it to really dig into its systems.
Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I played the shit out of Mortal Kombat. Ooh, that was my pride and joy. When I wanted to flex, I would put on some Mortal Kombat and have all my friends play, and we'd all take turns. And I would be the one to win at least 80%, maybe 70%. I don't got hard numbers for you. But no. I don't know if I agree with what he said right there. Listen to that again.
One of the problems with previewing a fighting game is that
with previewing a fighting game. All right. My entire argument was null and void right there.
You never have enough time with it to really dig into its systems. This is an incredibly complex genre. Every time you sit down with a new fighting game, it's a new experience.
A lot of them can feel very samey. That's what I was kind of talking about. These side-scroll fighting games, it's going to be hard to make it really stand out outside of the Invincible IP. Trying to think, maybe Tekken is one that I actually picked up and I'm like, holy fuck, this is completely different. I don't even know how to handle these controls. I didn't even get into it because I'm such a Mortal Kombat player. Like I grew up on that shit. So trying to like just switch over to Tekken after so long, I was just brain numb to it. I didn't know what to do.
It's like riding a bike. Hold back to block, your assist button will also tag if you hold it, that sort of thing. But a lot of it,
your assist button will block if you hold it. So you tap it to like call in a move, like on Mortal Kombat 1. Because Mortal Kombat 1 really pushed that tag team aspect where you could use multiple moves by your teammates that you picked in, whatever situation. They all have different moves. What did you say?
Every time you sit down with a new fighting game, it's a new experience.
Yeah.
Some of it's like riding a bike.
Okay.
Hold back to block, your assist button will also tag if you hold it, that sort of thing. But a lot of it is new. You gotta learn your button layout. You gotta...
How is that new? What do you mean new? A lot of it's new, like learning button layouts. This shit's hard, bro.
Figure out how combos work, what kind of defensive systems you have, what your special moves do, all kinds of stuff. If I had my way, I would have spent hours in Invincible versus training mode just tinkering with teams and learning how things worked. As it was, I only had...
No, that's what the campaign's for. Oh, but he's in the preview. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, shit. He went inside her titty. Oh. Man, that'll make Eve pop off, actually. Eve is probably one of the most OP fucking characters in this entire story.
About an hour, but even with such limited time, I left feeling like I knew what Invincible versus was by the time I put my fight stick down.
Yeah, it's a side-scrolling fighter.
Let's get the
I can see what it is right now
out of the way. Invincible versus is still very, very early in development. It absolutely nails the look and general vibe of the show. Mostly.
Well, what do you mean very, very early? Like, I can't remember if there was a release date on the original trailer or not, or if it just said coming 2026 or something. I don't know.
Because Quarter Up is working directly with the folks who made it. There's still a lot left to do. The build I played didn't have proper lip syncing yet, for instance.
Okay, that
you're worried
doesn't
about
matter.
Whether this will honor the source material,
at least right
don't
now.
be.
Final
Invincible
release, it'll matter
is a brutal,
a little more.
bloody, often shocking story, and that's reflected in how the characters interact on screen.
Yeah, I noticed
if you're
these
the one dishing
cutscenes
out the
here
hurt, your character will quite literally
where
get
frame
blood on
rate
their
dropped
hands.
on the
It just
characters
isn't theirs. Meanwhile, if you're the one getting hit,
but it seems
it'll
the
be
game
obvious.
is smooth, so
If
that's
you've been
good. I didn't
blocking with
want
your
it to
face,
have that.
The bruises will make sure.
I didn't want it to have that artificial frame rate drop on the gameplay. That would make it feel way too choppy. I'm glad that was just for the cinematic. I miss what he said here.
Character will quite literally get blood on their hands. It just isn't theirs. Meanwhile, if you're the one getting hit, it'll be obvious. If you've been blocking with your face, the bruises will make sure everyone knows it.
Okay,
that pristine costume will look like you've lost a fight with a lawnmower. The rest of you
that's kind of
will
expected in
resemble a
fighting
prize fighter
games
who just
at this
went
point.
12 rounds with a heavyweight. Or just
it's
mark
cool.
himself after he's been fighting
It's a good
his
thing to
dad.
have.
Invincible versus is far from the first fighting game to do real-time battle damage, but it looks great. And I appreciated how I could tell who was winning without looking at the health gauge at the top of the screen, and that it matched the show's visual language.
All right,
there's
props
a
for that.
lot of blood here, folks. And hey, if you end a fight with the right special or super move, and we'll dig into the gameplay in a second, I promise, you can pop Adam Eve's head off or turn bulletproof into a series of limbs missing a torso.
I did notice that in the trailer as well. That it looked like you just do final moves to eliminate
all this damage. The environments will feel the impact of these super-powered brawls too. There's less of a visible impact on the moon because, well, the moon is kind of empty.
It's always
in a city,
we're just making more craters.
See
it looks the same.
Falling down, cars getting totaled, streets getting torn up, the works. Superheroes trying to kill each other generally doesn't go well for anyone or anything else in the immediate.
Oh no! Damn it! I don't pay YouTube.
Area.
And hey man, hey Emma, yeah, hey, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And hey, just because you start a brawl in a city street doesn't mean it'll end there. You can absolutely punch somebody so hard they break orbit or end up on another different stage.
Watch out!
Okay. So what was that? The DC fighting game. Oh God. Injustice. There we go. I knew it was another in. So we got, this is Invincible. That was Injustice. Injustice, funny enough, another superhero fighting game. They did the same exact thing, being able to bust through the walls to get to another stage, which, again, love to see it, but it's not unique.
Okay, so the presentation stuff is pretty cool, but the appeal of any fighting game is the actual fighting. I didn't have enough time to really dig into Invincible versus its core system. But
Okay.
a fighting game
I mean,
can't just
obviously,
have smart design
it's a
choices
preview.
backing it. Landing hits has to feel good too. And Invincible Versus has that part down pat. In a lot of ways,
It does just even watching it, it does look very punchy. They got that like that Marvel vs. Capcom just flashiness to all the moves. You know how it leans on that comic book style, which it should. It's from a comic book. Hold on.
choices backing it. Landing hits has to feel good too. And Invincible Versus has that part down pat. In a lot
Did
of
you see
ways,
what they said
it resembles
about
the
me and
tag
the
fighters
server?
of yesteryear. But there are some unique
Nope.
twists here. You've got
Nope,
your
I don't
standard
know
light,
about
medium,
no
and
server,
heavy attacks,
nothing.
as
Nope.
well as a light auto combo for folks like me who were just starting out. Special moves are their own
I don't
button,
care what they said.
but Invincible Versus doesn't use motion inputs. You choose your special, kind of like you do in Super Smash Bros. Pick a direction and press that special button.
Okay, so because me, I do like fighters, but I was never into the Smash Brothers style. But I also haven't played it really close up like this on the 1v1 scale, like it is on Invincible here. But yeah, using directions to pick your moves is a way more accessible than what Mortal Kombat does, where you gotta input very specific moves every time. It's a much higher skill gap. So I'm sure they're doing that to kind of be able to bring in a slightly more casual audience that will just help keep the game running, honestly. I mean, obviously the tryhards and everything are going to learn the little ins and outs and everything, but to just pick up and play, it'll be much simpler to learn. And that's probably a good thing. Depending on how simple each character is, are they all just going to have 4 attacks, one for each direction? Or do they have different style of attacks and then alternate versions of each style of those attacks for each direction? I don't know exactly what you're going to be doing there.
So the core gameplay is a lot like Marvel or Dragon Ball FighterZ. Lights go into mediums, which go into heavies, though you can do things like switching between crouching and standing normals to spice things up and open up new routes. And
what does that mean? I can crouch to spice things up? So man, some of their wording on this is like just vague and confusing. How does it? What do you mean it opens things? It does other moves, so I can crouch to do alternate moves. Okay.
down and heavy gets you a launcher for an air combo.
Okay, so yeah, there's light and heavy attacks, and so what I said earlier, having variations of those light and heavies depending on which direction you're pressing, which down is a direction, or is there a down direction and a crouch? That would might feel a little weird on the controller, but that would open up a couple more moves per character. That would be good.
You can also enhance your special moves for special properties and extra hits if you've got the meter, and bone-crunching, human-smushing, jaw-removing supers for when you're ready to cash out.
Beautiful.
And see a slick animation
sorry.
that will leave your opponent getting literally scraped off the area floor. Plus, they're easy to do. Just press heavy and special at the same time, and you're golden. Standard tag fighter stuff. But what makes Invincible Versus cool are the core systems. Some of them you've seen before. You've got a push block to get people off of you, snapbacks to bring a damaged backliner back in so you can keep pouring up the hurt, defensive saves where you can bring in another character to save the one getting comboed, assists for each character that isn't on the field, this is a tag team game after all, ground bounces to set up interesting combo.
Alright, sorry, hold on. I gotta back it up a little bit.
You've seen before. You've got a push block to get people off of you, snapbacks to bring a damaged backliner back in so you can keep pouring up the hurt, Defensive saves where you can bring in another character to save the one getting comboed.
Yeah.
Assists for each character that isn't on the field. This is a tag team game after all. Ground.
Still just questioning how innovative these are actually going to be. I just can't help but think about Mortal Kombat when I think of the tag team system, and that's what I'm going to be comparing it to. Because with every new release of a sidekick character on Mortal Kombat, they tried to find a way to make it fairly unique. Like there was one where you could switch between like 3 different versions of it, and each one of those versions had different attacks. There's ones where like they do different things depending on when you're in the air, or like you can only use them as a parry. So it like you had to like hone in your play style with your sidekicks.
Bounces to set up interesting combo opportunities and the like. There are way too many options to dig into here. But if you're worried that the simplified control scheme
and how large is the roster going to be?
Might not have the juice, let me alleviate that concern for you right now. Once I got put into a high-low mix-up I block stunned by Bulletproof's Rekka, I knew this was a game for degenerates, which again, I saw as a compliment. One thing I will dig into is how Invincible versus determines combo length. As you hit your opponent, you'll see a meter build up.
Okay.
Fill it and your combo will end, because your opponent will fall out. This means that while basic combos in Invincible versus aren't short, they're not as long as the ones you'll find in Marvel 3 or...
Okay, so they made a mechanic where it caps out your combo, so you can, like, the game has a built-in combo ender, so you can't infinite combo anybody ever. They built it into the UI. It's so much a part of the game. They really looked at the infinite shit and just said, nah, yeah, we're just not. You just can't do that. No. Look at it. Infinite paralysis jutsu. If you end up filling the meter.
Or Dragon Ball FighterZ. You'll be out of that combo and back in the action, or dead, before your next birthday. Come here. But there is a way around that. Tag in one of your other characters and you'll reset part of that combo meter, allowing you to lay down additional smack. Getting the...
Okay, so it rewards constantly switching out your characters even mid-combo so that you can extend it. So, but... How much can you switch? Is it just free, or it probably has a cooldown? I'd imagine when you switch them, so you can't just like hit him twice, switch, hit him twice, switch, hit him twice. Like that would that'd be annoying.
The most out of your characters requires spending meter or cycling through your team. Neither of these concepts is new, but I appreciate what Quarter Up is doing to make Invincible versus unique. I also like how different the characters feel. The build I played only had 4 fighters to choose from, but Bulletproof and Thula quickly stood out to me, though neither Invincible nor Adam Eve felt bad. Part of the fun of a tag fighter is building a team that works for you. These characters already feel quite different from one another, and that's a good thing. Thula slicing you to pieces with her hair? Rad. Bulletproof calling you a cab? Iconic. The other thing I appreciate are the little touches. From the unique intro dialogue between the characters, this is becoming more and more rare in modern fighters, and the Dragon Ball Fighter style clashes when a new character comes in. These serve to reset the playing field and let you take a breath. But there's also more unique dialogue here too. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good good design choice. Actually, he even brought it up. When they go into those little animations and stuff, you don't have to like grip the controller. You can actually relax for a split fucking second. Wipe your hands off, suck off the Doritos, and get back into it.
And I'm happy Quarter Up has embraced it wholeheartedly.
Go ahead. Cry for your father again.
When I set my arcade stick down after...
What'd she say? Go cry for your father? Nah, that's not who he's gonna yell for.
But there's also more unique dialogue here too. I love stuff like this, and I'm happy Quarter Up has embraced it wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Go ahead. Cry for your father again.
When I set my arcade stick down after about an hour with
Invincible would
versus,
be going,
I
Cecil!
Trying a new
I need
fighting game
you!
is a lot like driving a new car for the first time. You've got a general idea of what you're getting, but the devil is in the details. I left pretty pleased with my test drive. Quarter Up still has a lot of work to do, but I can't wait to kick Invincible versus his tires for real when we see what she can do on the track. Fighting games are a tricky business, but it's also easy to tell when they're on the right.
So, does, like, per lore, does that mean if you completely destroy Eve's head, she just gone? She just out? She just down and out? She turned into soup?
Can't wait to kick Invincible versus his tires for real.
Turn her back
when we
into
see what she can do on the
her
track.
primordial form.
Fighting games are a tricky business, but it's also easy to tell when they're on the right track. Invincible versus has a killer team behind it. The tools and the resources they need to do the comic and the show justice, and a lot of good ideas. Let's just hope they can pull off a superhero landing and look good doing it. For more, check out our previews.
I'm glad that they're not doing like how would you call it? How would you call it? Ah man, I had the word in my head and I completely forgot what it was gonna be. Damn. But nah, man. We'll see if they can pull this off. Hopefully it does. Oh yeah. I'm glad they didn't just make one of those overall games where it incorporates a bunch of characters like Smash Brothers and then just have some Invincible characters in there. They just went full Invincible. Thank you. But that being said, I do wonder what kind of guest characters they're going to have on this. It could be something like maybe Spawn. I'm pretty sure Spawn is on Image Comics, just like Invincible is. Fuck, we can pull up Rick Grimes on here, bro. Have Rick Grimes go up against fucking Omni-Man. Hell yeah. But no, I'll probably end up getting this, especially if reviews are good. But how much is it gonna cost? Is it gonna run you like $40, $60, $70, $80? We don't want that. Nobody wants that.